we're Kevin and Cheryl Stauffer. We are actually members of Community since 1995, 1996, and for the last 15 years, we've been over in France doing missionary work in a church in a town just outside of Lyon.
So what my main job is at the church in Lyon is I'm the worship leader. Very much like what you guys see Glenn or Steve do here at Community. But since we're a smaller church, about 250 now I guess, I wear a lot of hats and do a lot of different things. France is a pretty interesting place to do missionary work because it's not what you think of. It's not the typical thing you think of when you say missionary. But the interesting thing to keep in mind is there's never been any kind of Protestant church present in France, ever. So when you try to talk to somebody about the gospel, it's really amazing how much they just don't have any clue at all. And you're starting from absolutely ground zero because there's no reference point hardly at all when you start talking about Christ or who he was. Or
who is this Emmanuel guy?
Yeah.
Why are we singing about it?
Yeah. So, but we've been there. It's been amazing to see what God's done in the church over the last nearly 15 years. We've been able to be part of planning 2 new churches in the last couple of years. We've seen our church grow and double in size, I guess, since about the time we've been there. We've just gone to 2 services. And God just keeps blessing and opening doors. I think the main thing that we've been able to try to do is to take some of what I learned as a member of the worship team. We were both really involved in the worship team here back in the day. And export that over to Lyon. Try to make the worship time relevant, try to make the music relevant, where people were walking out singing songs that not only had content that preached Christ's message, but also had music that they wanted to tap their toes to and hum as they were going out, and it meant something to them. So probably over the last few years, the most exciting development in our ministry has been the church planning process. So our church has partnered with another church, and we've been able, between us now, to plant 2 new churches over the past 2 years. And so now each new church that's been planted helps also to be part of the team that plants the next church. So now we have churches that have planted churches that are planting churches. And we've already identified the next 2 churches to be planted. So it's really amazing to see what God is doing there.
With all these church plants that are starting, their main emphasis is their communities. And globally, just showing them what Christ's love is and how it has feet and what it can do and impact on the community around them. And to say something to you in French, on vous remercie beaucoup pour votre prière et aussi pour votre soutien. Thank you for your prayers and support.
Merci.